Basic building block is CMOS inverter. Okay. So basic building block is CMOS inverter. So while coming for that, so how you can able to construct a CMOS device? So in the first session itself we discussed that. So by means of combining both PMOS and NMOS, we can able to construct this CMOS circuit. So in that regard, to realize an CMOS inverter, where I am supposed to use both NMOS as well as PMOS, and where I have to place NMOS and PMOS. In general, PMOS will be placed in pull-up network, and NMOS must be placed in pull-down network. Okay. Anyway, with respect to arrow mark only, you are going to differentiate them as I mentioned previously. While coming for PMOS, arrow towards the gate from source, and while coming for NMOS, arrow away from the gate towards source. Okay. So because of that, here I can able to indicate what are all the gate terminals, source and drain for both PMOS and NMOS. So these two gates are commonly connected to Vin. So because of that, this we can able to consider it as gate. And while coming for PMOS, so what is source? So arrow towards gate from source. So because of that, that is source. And one more point also I described over there. In PMOS, source voltage must always be greater than the drain voltage. So here we connected this particular terminal to VDD equals to plus 5 volts. So because of that, source voltage must always be greater than that particular drain voltage. In that regard, that particular side we tied to plus 5 volts. So because of that, that is the source terminal, and this is the drain terminal. And while coming for the NMOS, okay, so NMOS, source voltage must always be lesser than the drain voltage. Anyway, this connection is going to represent the ground connection. So because of that, source must be connected to this, and drain must be on the opposite side. And also in another way also, based upon arrow also we can able to decide. Okay. So in NMOS, arrow away from the gate, okay, towards source. Okay, in that manner also I can able to define what is source and what is drain for both PMOS and NMOS. So once if you derive this particular one, based on this, now we can able to define how this particular will act as an inverter circuit. But before that, so why we are supposed to place PMOS in pull up network, and why we are supposed to place this particular transistor in pull down network, so that I have to mention to all of you. So to achieve that particular one, okay, so first I have to define, okay, so first I have to consider, so PMOS. PMOS is in general strong 1 and weak 0, okay, and while coming for NMOS, so which is strong 0 and weak 1, okay. So how I can able to say that PMOS is strong 1 and weak 0 and NMOS is strong 0 and weak 1, let me justify it. So while coming for that, so here I considered PMOS transistor. If I consider this is the gate, source and drain. So if I applied input value such as like this, okay, so here I consider an NMOS transistor, where at the input side I applied a signal which is varying from 0 volts to 5 volts, 0 volts to 5 volts. So if this is the case, then anyway you know the operation of NMOS transistor, where the equation is VGS greater than or equals to 0. If VGS equals to 0, then that particular transistor is in off state. If VGS is positive value and that positive value must be greater than the threshold value, then that particular transistor enters into the on state. So based on that particular one, here I am going to define the operation of this particular NMOS transistor. So now initially if you find out the VGS, so what is the value? In general, VGS we can able to consider it as VG minus VS. If that is the case, so initially if I considered here, I applied a value of 5 volts at the gate terminal. Okay, if I applied 5 volts over there, then VG becomes 5 minus, and here at initial point it consists of source value as 0. So it becomes 0, then resultant is 5 volts. Okay, so VGS, now I got a value of 5 volts, that is so much more greater than the threshold value, because threshold voltage for NMOS we assumed it as 1 volt. So because of that much more greater, because of that particular transistor is in on state. So whatever signal started over here, that will be propagated as it is. So that is 0 volts propagated as it is. And it's keep on increasing because 0 volts to 5 volts now. Here 1 volt, 2 volt, 3 volt, 4 volt. Like that drastically that particular voltage increases. So at that time what happens we will see over here. Let be once if it reaches 1 volt, then Vs becomes 1. So at that time 5 minus 1 it becomes 4. That 4 value is much more greater than the threshold value. Because of that it reaches 1 in the same way 2, 3, 4, and once if it reaches the 4 volts, what happens? Okay, now that particular VGS is 5 minus 4 where it becomes 1 volt, reaches to the threshold value. Okay, so once that particular value crosses the 4 volts, what happens? So this value is less than 1 volt, that is nothing but less than the threshold value. So because of that particular transistor immediately enters into the off state. So because of that, at the output side, even though at the input side we applied 0 volts to 5 volts, while coming for the output, 0 exactly you can able to get at the output side, but while coming for high value which is 5, you can't able to get the exact 5, so less than 5. Okay, how much value you can able to degrade mean, that depends on the threshold value of that particular transistor. Because of here threshold value is 1 in that regard, so maximum value you can able to get only 4 volts. Okay, so because of that, from this I can able to say that NMOS is strong 0 and weak 1. That means, so 0 value as it is, it can able to propagate to the output side. But while coming for logic 1, so it can't able to propagate exact 5 volts. Some degraded output, that is nothing but, okay, some threshold voltage lesser than that of the input voltage, it is going to generate at the output side, but it can't able to generate the exact 5. So because of that, we can able to say NMOS is strong 0 and weak 1. Because, so generating 1 seems to be very difficult. 1 is nothing but equivalent to 5 volts. Exact 5 volts it can't able to generate at the output side. Because of that weak 1. And exact 0 it can able to propagate to the output side. Okay, so because of that we can able to consider it as strong 0. In the same way, so if you consider, so let me explain for PMOS. Okay, so this is also another symbol representation. So unlike so considering arrows and all, because all the time representing with arrows seems to be difficult. So in that regard, anyway these two are inverting operations they are going to perform. So because of that, NMOS you can able to represent simply like this, and PMOS just inverting operation to that. So by means of a placing bubble, also we can able to represent the PMOS transistor. Okay, so because of that, so this is how PMOS transistor seems to be. For this particular one also, same as previous one, we are going to consider. Okay, so now in this particular case, so that is source and this is drain. Okay, this is drain. So anyway we know the operation of that particular one where VGS less than or equals to 0. Okay, so that is the operation of, based on that particular one we can able to define the operation of the PMOS transistor. So initially, so VGS, so this is gate, so here we applied a value of plus 0 volts. Now what is VGS initially? Initially we have a 0 voltage at the input and here I applied 0. Now VGS becomes, so once again VGS equals VG minus Vs, where Vg value is 0 and Vs also 0. So because of that resultant is 0. So what happens? So this transistor is in off state only. So because of that, this value it can't able to propagate to the output side. Once input is drastically increases and once if it reaches 1 volt. Now what happens? Now VGS becomes 1 minus, okay, 0 minus 1. 0 minus 1, where this value is equals to minus 1 volt. And I already mentioned that threshold voltage for the PMOS is minus 1 volt. So because of that, once if it reaches 1 volt, VGS value is equals to the threshold voltage of the PMOS. So because of that, it reaches to, once if it reaches to that particular one, from that particular point onwards, output signal is going to propagate, because whenever I got minus 1, then this particular transistor enters into the on state. So because of that, from that particular point onwards, it is going to propagate the output signal. So starts from 1 volts, not from 0 volts. And thereafter keep on increasing, finally you can able to reach 5 volts. So let me verify regarding 5 volts. So if the, so VGS value, so VG minus Vs, so VG is 0 minus, once input reaches to 5 volts, 5, which equals minus 5 volts. So anyway, minus 5 volts is much more greater compared to the threshold voltage, which is minus 1 volt of this particular PMOS transistor. So because of that, even so after 1 volt, whatever value is going to present up to 5 volts, this particular transistor is in on state only. So because of that, after 1 volt, whatever signal is going to present, that must be propagated as it is. But it can't able to so transfer the 0 volts, because of at that particular point of time, that particular transistor is in off state. Okay. So from this particular point, I can able to say that PMOS is strong one, because 5 volts as it is, it can able to propagate to the output side, but it can't able to propagate the 0 volts. So because of that, weak 0. So PMOS is strong one and weak 0. So because of all these reasons, so here we are going to place, okay, PMOS in the pull-up network, because whatever circuit we placed over here, what it's supposed to do is, it needs to make this particular V out, it needs to pull up that particular value from 0 to 1. In that regard only, we can call this particular one is a pull-up network. So because its operation is whenever this particular transistor is in on state, so by means of current flowing through this particular one, it needs to supposed to increase a V out value from 0 to 5 volts. So because of that, we can able to call it as pull-up network. And while coming for this particular one, we can able to call it as pull-down network. So why? Because whenever this particular transistor is on, so direct path exists from V out to ground. Because of that, what it's supposed to do is decreasing the V out value from 5 volts to 0 volts. In that regard, we can able to call this particular one as a pull down, because it's pulling down the output value, and this one is pulling up to the output value. In that regard, pull up and pull down. So because of all these reasons, so pull up 0 to 1. So that particular one, because of PMOS is strong one, it can able to perform that particular operation well. In that regard, in pull up we are going to consider the PMOS, and NMOS, which is a strong 0 but weak one. So to make it output 0, that operation will be performed effectively by NMOS. So in that regard, pull down circuit must be considered with NMOS transistor. Okay. So now, so look at the operation of this particular inverter. As I mentioned previously, first we have to define the source and drain terminals for that. So anyway, source voltage must always be greater than the drain voltage. So that is source and drain. In this particular case, NMOS, source voltage must always be less than drain voltage. So ground must be connected to source. Now, if you look at the operation, so Vin equals to 0 volts if we applied. Then which transistor is in on state, which transistor is in off state, we are supposed to find out. Okay, so 0 volts. Anyway, which transistor is on, which transistor is off, that you can able to define based on the VGS greater than or equals to 0 and VGS less than or equals to 0 for PMOS and NMOS. Okay. So while coming for this, if I applied 0 volts over here, so now what is the VGS of this particular PMOS? So VGS equals VG minus Vs. Now I applied, so this is what VG, Vin is nothing but VG. So VG is 0 minus Vs, Vs connected to 5 volts. So because of that 5. Minus 5 volts. For a PMOS, minus 5 volts is nothing but, so VGS is much more lesser than 0. Because of that, this value is So greater than the threshold voltage of PMOS, where threshold voltage of PMOS is minus 1 volt. Here I got minus 5 volts. So because of that, this particular transistor is in on state. Q2 becomes on. Once if it on means how it will behave? It will behave like a closed switch. Okay. So closed switch is nothing but, now what happens? So there is a closed path exists in between VDD to Vout. So current is going to flow across that particular transistor, and if initially Vout becomes 0 volts, now because of this particular current flowing, it drastically increases and finally it reaches to a value of 5 volts. And at that time, what about this particular NMOS? If I apply 0 volts, so for this particular one, VGS equals VG minus VS. So where VG equals to 0 minus VS connected to ground. So because of that, the resultant becomes 0, which is less than the threshold voltage of NMOS transistor. NMOS transistor threshold voltage, we consider it as 1 volt. Now we got 0 volts. So which is less than threshold voltage of NMOS. Because of that, at this particular point, this will act as off. That means it will act as a open switch. So there is no path exist from Vout to ground terminal. Only the path exists from VDD to Vout. So because of that, output value charged from 0 volts to 5 volts. Okay. So that is what? By means of applying 0 input, so I got a value of 5. That means input is 0, output become 1. That means the circuit performing the inverting operation. So look at the other side. So suppose if Vin equals to 5 volts, high value if I apply. Now find out the VGS of these two. Okay. So VGS of these two. So VGS of these two. Now what is the VGS value for PMOS? Now VG becomes, okay, 5 minus VS is 5. Then it becomes 0 volts. When VGS equals to 0, PMOS is in off state. And while coming for this particular one, so VG is 5 and VS is 0. So because of that, 5 minus 0, it becomes 5 volt. Now this value is much more greater than the threshold voltage of NMOS transistor. So because of that, in this particular case, NMOS is in on state. On state nothing but this will act as a closed switch and this will act as a open switch. So because of that, now there exists a direct path from Vout to ground terminal. So this is a ground. So now what happens? So whatever value we got previously, which is 5 volts, output charged to 5 volts whenever Q2 is in on state. Now because of this particular one, Q1 enters into the on state and Q2 becomes off state. So whatever output charged previously, that is going to discharge through this particular transistor, and finally this particular value reaches to a 0 volts. That is nothing but by means of applying input as logic 1, output you got a value of logic 0. So based on these two combinations, I can able to say that this particular circuit is going to perform the inverting operation. This is the basic building block we constructed by means of using the NMOS and PMOS. Okay. So that's what here they indicated in this particular one. So first we considered input as 0. Input 0 means, so Q2 will be on and Q1 will be off. Then output we can able to get, because of this particular short path exists from VDD to Vout. So output gets charged and finally it reaches to 5 volts. So that itself here they represented. So in terms of the switches. Okay. So PMOS, because of this is in on, so that represented with a closed switch. And NMOS, which is Q1, is in off state, because of that represented with a open switch. And by means of applying Vin equals to low, finally you are going to get Vout as high. And second case, if 5 volts we apply, what happens? Q1 becomes on, Q2 becomes off. That itself, okay, they mentioned over here. By means of that output you can able to get a value of 0. And so the equivalent switch model they represented over there, because Q2 now in off state represented with the open switch and Q1 becomes on, that represented with a closed switch. Okay. So because of that, if I applied V in equals to high and V out becomes low. Okay. So this is what the operation of this particular one. Okay, CMOS inverter. And this is another way of representation of CMOS inverter. So previously with respect to arrows, we came to know that which is PMOS and which is NMOS. If you look at the behavior, logical behavior, so both are inverting to each other. So whatever NMOS operation, for that inverting operation PMOS is going to perform. So in that logical behavior, so instead of representing with arrows, so directly you can able to mention such as like this. So this is how the NMOS representation seems to be. Okay. So NMOS. So NMOS without any arrows. Okay. While coming for PMOS, just inverting operation to the top of the NMOS. To indicate that particular one, a bubble must be mentioned at the gate terminal. Because inverting terminal means inverter represented with a bubble. So because of that placing of bubble at the gate terminal itself, we can able to indicate. So this is a PMOS and this is an NMOS. Okay. So anyway, throughout our TECA, so we are going to prefer this type of symbol only, because always placing arrows seems to be very difficult. In that regard, in an easy way, so PMOS you can able to represent such as like this, and NMOS we can able to represent such as like this. Because of both are performing the inverting operations, by means of placing bubble here, we can able to indicate the logic behavior of PMOS is opposite inverting to that of the NMOS, and operation is same as previous one. On when Vin is low, if we applied Vin is low, then so output becomes 1, and when Vin is high, output becomes 0. Because of that, where output Z, where it is going to perform the inverting of the input, that itself we indicated with this particular expression Z equals to A bar. So that is what regarding this particular CMOS inverter, very very important. Based on this particular CMOS inverter concept only, several other circuits we can able to, functionalities we can able to realize. Okay. So let me review. So whatever I discussed till now. So while coming for this particular one, okay. So first, so we discussed about the CMOS logic levels. Okay. So how to consider? So instead of considering single value for 0 and 5 volts, so we are supposed to consider certain range of values. Okay. That is the first thing. How we consider, that depends on the power supply voltage. In our concepts, we always prefer maximum cases, we preferred plus 5 volts only. Okay. Then after that, MOS transistor we discussed. There are two types, NMOS and PMOS. And also within NMOS, enhancement and depletion. In PMOS also enhancement and depletion. And also we discussed about the operation of that particular one. While coming for NMOS, the operation depends on VGS greater than or equals to 0. When VGS equals to 0, that particular NMOS is in off state. When VGS is greater than 0, if that particular VGS value is greater than the threshold value, then that particular transistor is in on state. In the same way, while coming for the PMOS, that operation depends on VGS less than or equals to 0. When VGS equals to 0, that particular transistor is in off state. When VGS is lesser than negative value, and that negative value is lesser than the threshold value, so at that particular point of time, that particular transistor enters into the on state. Next to that, so we developed a CMOS inverter. Anyway, CMOS circuit we can able to construct by means of combining both PMOS and NMOS. PMOS must be considered in pull-up network because of its strong 1 capability, and NMOS must be considered in pull-down network because of its strong 0 capability. And based on that particular arrangement, we defined by means of applying 0 input, we got output as 1, and by means of applying input as 1, output we got a value of 0, and vice versa. So because of that, so that is the operation of CMOS inverter. Okay. Anyway, thank you. Thank you.